Right. Okay, introducing my next special guest now. It's a delight to have Kendra Kay on my show, a musician in her own right. So I just wanted to get you on just to find out a little bit about yourself and your music and what you do. Welcome to my show. How are we today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. So far, so good. And you are a Canadian country artist. How long have you been doing, say, country for?
Country music has always been a part of my life, but I have really been over the last, I guess, 10 years. I've been involved in the music industry, but it's really been the last, I'd say, five that it's kind of turned into more of a career for me versus just kind of doing it because I loved it. And I mean, I still do it because I love it, but it's been more of a career path for about the last 5 years. So it's amazing. I love being a part of the music industry. Here in Canada, it's a very small, close-knit family. And it's been really great. The amount of opportunities that have come for it have just been absolutely amazing.
Amazing, that's good. So I'm glad it's worked out for you and music's like serious. It's gone serious for you and you're doing well. Releasing like, singles, many singles, just looking at your discography. And they go like way back to like say 2014 even.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I started recording and putting out music while I was still in high school. So it's been, it was always kind of a journey that I was grateful to be able to be on.
Hmm.
And then over the years as I've been writing and recording, it's just been, finding myself in the music. Because, a 16-year-old kid doesn't fully understand who they are as a person, let alone an artist at that time. So it took a lot of recording and writing and performing and all that kind of stuff to really hone in on who I am as a person and as an artist. And I've grown so much over the last 10 years of spending that time in the studio and in writing rooms and stuff. So it's been cool to kind of see the evolution within myself.
Great, a great path to take. And as you say, being an artist, it doesn't, not everything happens overnight. It's a developmental process, isn't it? Gradual.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Mm.
It's a lot of growing as a person and as an artist. Like I said, the path to kind of get to any sort of success, whether, it's a little success or, worldwide success, it's a long road. And I don't think the general public realizes kind of how long it takes to be a overnight sensation per
Mm.
se. You know what I mean? They say it's a 10 years thing in the making to be an overnight success. So it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't realize that we go through. But I know for myself that it's worth it because you gain so much opportunity and experience along the way to set yourself up to have those bigger opportunities.
That's so true. And at the moment, we're in the summer season now. Are you doing quite a few festivals over there?
Yeah, definitely. It's our busy season over here. Of course, up here in Canada, winter time is not the funnest for travel because of how horrific our winters are. But summertime touring season is when we all hit the road
Hmm.
and I get to play around a lot, which it's been fun. We've been traveling lots and playing lots of shows, so it's always great to get in front of new fans and hit the road.
Nice. And at the moment, do you have like a new single which you're concentrating on promoting at the moment, like a new record out?
Yes, definitely. I have a brand new single out. It's new. I just dropped it here in July. And then of course we sent it. This is kind of my first like bigger scale release. I've released singles to radio in Canada quite often. I'm over the last 10 years, off and on for the last 10 years. But this release is my first one that we sent out to Europe and the first one that we sent out to Australia. So it's exciting for me because it's a much bigger scale. We're hitting so many more fans and promoting music in countries that haven't heard of me before. So it's kind of it's a cool experience to kind of get to go through this again with being the new artist and um, introducing myself again. And I think this single was the perfect one to do that. The song's called I'm Good,
Yeah.
and it's just all about, seeing the beauty in life sometimes. Sometimes we find it tough to see the beauty that's there when we're having a bad day or when things aren't always going our way. but the song is just all about, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel,
Mm.
and seeing where you're at in life and being content with that. And I think everybody needs to hear that no matter where you are in the world. So I'm excited that this one's out. This song has been in my back pocket for a little while now, so I'm excited that it's in the world and that people get to hear it. So yeah.
Lovely. That's amazing. Good for you. And it says here, you hail from the Canadian prairies. Is that like open kind of the prairies like open fields, is it over there?
Yes, yes, the Canadian prairies. So Canada is quite known for, of course, on the western side of the country, we have the mountains over in British Columbia and in Alberta. And then on the east coast, of course, is more the Atlantic side where we have the ocean, and it's more that kind of thing. But right in the middle of the country is called the prairies. And it's pretty much, it's a lot of farmland, a lot of cattle farmers and grain farmers, and we have bush and we have some rolling hills and stuff, but it's pretty flat, open country is what we're
Hmm.
known for from where I grew up. It's very much cattle country and grain land out where I'm around, and farming communities. So that's kind of where I was born and raised.
Nice. And how many albums have you like released over the course of like say the last decade?
Yeah, I just released my debut full-length album last year. But previous to that, I had put out two EPs. They were just, small bodies of work to just kind of introduce myself to the market. And then, after all these years of writing and recording, I finally felt it was time to put out my debut album into the world. So we spent a good couple of years working on that. And of course, through the COVID and the pandemic was when I did a lot of my recording and writing for it. And then I felt it was the perfect time and the perfect group of songs to, send out to the world, to be like, this is who I am, this is what I'm all about. And it received really well. We went #1 on iTunes in Canada on the country charts, and #3 in the all genre charts. And it was just kind of the perfect way to introduce yourself to the world. Just, I'm really grateful for everything that my debut album brought me, between just gaining fans and kind of gaining respect within the industry. And then just having this body of work that I can go show people and be like, these stories are mine. This is who I am as a person. This is what I've been through over the last 10 years. And yeah, it was cool. And I'm currently working on a new project right now. We have another EP coming out, planning to by the end of this year. So again, I'm excited to get that out into the world. It's kind of a little bit of an evolution again, going back to my roots a little bit more, really country sounding, really pulls in the live elements of country music, which I love so much. So I'm excited to show this next chapter with, the kickoff single here with I'm Good.
Amazing. And just looking back at some of your figures as well, one of your throwback popular songs is Swinging Door as well. Will that song always hold a place in your heart?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's pretty cool for me. Swinging Door did really well on Spotify. And it's actually one of the reasons why I chose to look at the European release, is because the majority of those numbers actually came from the Nordic countries. When we put that song out, it got some traction over in Europe. So it's kind of cool to have those ties. You never know where music's going to take you or where it's going
Mm.
to receive well and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool to, be sitting here in Canada and have people on the other side of the world listening to your music and loving it and adding it to playlists and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
That's ace. And with so much talent out there and people starting out as singers. Is there any collabs that you may like to join forces with? I've got a few people who listen to music, also listen to like Paige Nichols, Taylor Wilson, Elise Saunders. Any of them any of them fellow country artists at all?
Of course. I mean, it's always fun to collab with like anybody. Like as an artist, it's fun to have different people pull in and be a part of your projects. I mean, I have dream collaborations that are like the things that probably won't ever happen in my lifetime.
Mm.
But of course, your George Straits and those kind of, like, I've always dreamt about, those kind of collabs. But here in Canada, there's so many artists I would love to get the opportunity to collab with. I haven't really thought about it per se, like exactly who and it would definitely need to be the right song. But I'm always open for collabs, and especially in the writing room. You know, if we could sit down and write a song together and then make it kind of a fun duet, it'd be super cool.
Yeah. I guess that's what it's all about, networking and supporting each other. As you say, you have a good community where everyone supports each other.
Yeah, definitely. And I do
Mm.
find that here, of course, I haven't really been involved in too many markets outside of Canada, but the market here in Canada is very supportive, and everybody, like I said earlier, we're one big or one small family, pretty much one big happy family here in the music industry, and it's it's amazing to have that support. And people often take the time when you're on the road, and if you at the same festival of somebody or on the same bill, everybody sits and visits, and we run into each other all the time, so it's just cool to always catch up and kind of give advice and pump each other up and all that kind of stuff.
Nice. And have you had any like career highlights? I just read here that you've played like with a five-piece band shows across Canada, including the Banjo Bowl halftime show to
Yeah.
33,000 fans. That must have been insane.
Yeah, it was super cool. So here in Canada, our football league is a CFL. So that was at a CFL event. It was my very first stadium show that I'd ever played, and I was the only one on the bill. It was just me playing that day. I was the halftime show act, and it was absolutely amazing. Where I grew up, in Manitoba, they have an event every year called the Banjo Bowl, and what it is pretty much, it's like it's held the same weekend of every year, and it's always when Manitoba plays Saskatchewan football, and it's always sold out. The stadium holds 33,000 people, and it's such a good time. So when I got the call to do that, I was over the moon
Mm.
excited, because it's just a staple growing up where I'm from. Everybody knows what it is. And of course, there were so many people that I know that go to that event every year. So I got to play in front of, almost like a hometown crowd. I grew up just three hours outside the city. So it was pretty cool for me, to be a part of that. That's definitely always going to be a career highlight, just because it was the very first stadium show ever, and I'm never going to forget that one.
That sounds good. Well, where can people like find you like on social like media, like social platforms?
Yeah. I'm pretty active on all my socials. My website is kendrakaycountry.com, which has links to my Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff, which is all Kendra K Music, Kendra Kay Music. And yeah, follow along on the journey. I post quite often when I'm at home on the farm with my horses, and then of course everything that's going on in the music world and all that stuff up here in Canada.
Brilliant. It's nice to connect with musicians and see their journey.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean, the best thing that any of us artists could ever want is just people to invest and follow along and become fans of who we are as people.
mm.
Because as much as we want everybody to love our music, it is a big part of who we are. So if you can kind of connect with us as people, then it's much easier to connect with us as artists.
Sure. Well, thanks very much for chatting me today. Great interview. Kendra Kay joining me on today's show. And we might as well play your new single if that's all right with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Brilliant. It's our pleasure. And best wishes from UK to Canada.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Great.